My ex cheated and married my best friend. Now their life is falling apart and they expect me to save them. I never thought I'd be in this position. My ex, who cheated on me with my best friend and then married him, is now reaching out like nothing ever happened. And not just for small talk. They want my help. Let's go back to the beginning. Mia and I were together for 5 years. We met in college, went through all the ups and downs of young adulthood together, and I really thought she was the one. She wasn't just my girlfriend. She was my best friend, my partner, the person I imagined building a future with. And for the longest time, I thought she felt the same. Then there was Jake, my best friend since high school. He was practically family. He was there for every birthday, every holiday, every important moment of my life. I trusted him completely. We all hung out together all the time, and I never thought twice about it. Why would I? I had no reason to doubt either of them. Until I did. It started with little things. Mia started pulling away, always on her phone, texting late at night with a smile on her face but never saying who it was. She got secretive, started canceling plans more often. When I asked what was going on, she brushed me off, saying she was just stressed with work. Jake started acting weird too. He wasn't as present as he used to be, started making excuses whenever I invited him over. I figured he was just busy. He had a demanding job, a life of his own. I had no reason to think anything else. But then I found out. Mia had left her laptop open one night. I wasn't the type to snoop, but something felt off. I wasn't even looking for anything, but the second I saw the messages, I knew. Jake, hundreds of messages between them, stretching back for months, flirty, emotional, full of inside jokes I wasn't a part of. And then there were the ones that made my stomach drop. I can't wait to be with you. He doesn't suspect a thing. I love you. I felt sick. I didn't want to believe it, but the evidence was all there, staring me in the face. The people I trusted most had betrayed me in the worst way possible. When I confronted Mia, she didn't even try to deny it. She just sighed, like she was annoyed I had found out. I was going to tell you, she said, like that made it better. Jake? He had the nerve to act like I was overreacting. Look, man, we didn't plan for this to happen, he said, like they had tripped and fallen into bed together. I cut them both off that night. No screaming, no begging, no drama. Just walked away. Blocked their numbers, unfollowed them on everything, erased them from my life. It hurt like hell, but what else was I supposed to do? The people I loved the most had destroyed my trust completely. That was 3 years ago. I moved on, focused on my career, built a solid life for myself, made new friends who actually respected me. I hadn't spoken to Mia or Jake since the day I left them behind. As far as I was concerned, they didn't exist anymore. Then, out of nowhere, I got a message. Mia, hey, it's been a long time. I know this is unexpected, but can we talk? I stared at my phone, half wondering if it was a joke. What the hell could she possibly want from me now? I stared at my phone, debating whether to respond. Mia had some nerve reaching out after all this time. It had been 3 years of complete silence, and now she suddenly wanted to talk? For what? Closure? Forgiveness? There was nothing left to say. I almost deleted the message and moved on with my day. But curiosity got the best of me. Not because I wanted to reconnect, but because I wanted to know what exactly made her think I would even entertain a conversation with her. Me. Talk about what? She replied almost instantly, like she had been waiting for my response. Mia, I know I don't deserve your time, but please, it's important. I debated leaving her on read, but against my better judgment, I agreed to meet. If nothing else, I wanted to see her squirm. The next day, I walked into the cafe and spotted her right away. She looked the same, still put together, still wearing that fake smile she always used when she was trying to soften bad news. I sat down across from her, arms crossed. Talk. She let out a slow breath. First, I just want to say I'm sorry. I know that probably means nothing to you now, but I am sorry. For everything. I didn't say anything. I just waited. She shifted in her seat, clearly uncomfortable with the silence. I wouldn't have reached out if it wasn't serious. I raised an eyebrow. Then get to the point. She swallowed. It's Jake. We're going through some things. I almost laughed. Oh, so now I'm your therapist? She winced. No, it's not like that. We need help. That caught my attention. We? She hesitated, then nodded. He wanted to reach out himself, but he thought you'd never talk to him. He's right, I said without hesitation. She sighed. Look, I know we don't deserve anything from you, but we're in a tough spot, and you're the only one who might understand. I stared at her, baffled. Understand what exactly? She hesitated again, like she wasn't sure she wanted to say it. Then she leaned forward slightly and lowered her voice. Jake's in trouble. Serious trouble. For the first time since I sat down, I was actually curious. Not because I cared, but because I needed to know what kind of mess they had gotten themselves into, and why they thought I would be the one to save them. I leaned back in my chair, crossing my arms. Let me get this straight. Jake, the guy who betrayed me, stole my girlfriend, and acted like I was the bad guy, is in trouble, and somehow you think I give a damn? Mia swallowed hard. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't serious. I shrugged. Not my problem. Her jaw tightened. Can you just listen for a second? I gestured for her to continue, more out of curiosity than anything else. She glanced around like she was afraid someone might overhear, then leaned in. Jake got involved with some bad people. Business stuff. Investments that went south. He owes a lot of money, like life-ruining amounts. I stared at her. And? She hesitated. And? We were hoping you could help. I blinked. Then I laughed. Not just a small chuckle, but a full, are you out of your mind kind of laugh. I actually had to stop and take a breath. You think I'm going to help him? She looked desperate now. I know how it sounds. Oh, do you? I interrupted, because to me, it sounds like my ex and my former best friend who stabbed me in the back are only reaching out because they're drowning and have no one else left to turn to. Her face burned with embarrassment. That's not, I held up a hand. Let me guess. The same friends who hyped you up when you left me for him? The ones who told you it was meant to be and that I'd get over it? Where are they now? Mia looked down, saying nothing. I nodded, yeah. That's what I thought. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then she let out a shaky breath. Look, I get it. You hate us. You have every right to. But I wouldn't be here if I wasn't desperate. I sipped my coffee, unfazed. That's the thing, Mia. You're not here because you regret what you did. You're here because you need something. She flinched. I do regret it. No, you regret that I'm in a better place than you now, I corrected. You regret that Jake turned out to be a disaster and that you backed the wrong horse. Her eyes welled up. It's not like that. I tilted my head. If Jake was still rolling in money, still living that better life you left me for, would you be sitting here right now? She hesitated. Too long. That told me everything I needed to know. I stood up, tossing a few dollars on the table. Good luck, Mia. Her head snapped up in panic. Wait! That's it? That's it, I said simply. Jake made his bed. You both did. Now lie in it. She reached for my arm, but I stepped back. Please, you don't understand. I understand perfectly, I said. I understand that you threw me away because you thought you could do better, and now that your real Prince Charming turned out to be a sinking ship, you want me to throw you a life raft. Her lips parted like she wanted to argue, but she had nothing left to say. I shook my head. You didn't just lose my trust, Mia. You lost me, and there's no coming back from that. Then I turned and walked out, leaving her sitting there, finally realizing just how badly she had screwed up. And damn, did it feel good. You said, I walked out of that cafe and didn't look back. The second I stepped outside, I took a deep breath, letting the satisfaction settle in. 3 years ago, I was the one left picking up the pieces, wondering what I had done wrong. Now, Mia was the one scrambling for a way out, and I was the last person on earth willing to save her. I went about my day like nothing had happened. Work, gym, dinner with some friends. I didn't bother checking my phone, but when I finally did that night, I wasn't surprised to see Mia had sent another message. Mia, I know you don't owe us anything, but please just hear me out one last time. I wouldn't be asking if it wasn't serious. I left her on read. A few days passed, and I figured she had finally given up. Then James, my coworker, and probably the only person at work who knew the full story, walked into my office looking way too amused. "You're not going to believe this," he said, dropping into the chair across from me. "Guess who slid into my girlfriend's DMs?" I already knew. Mia. Bingo. He pulled out his phone and showed me the messages. Sure enough, Mia had reached out to his girlfriend, playing the concerned ex role. "Hey, I know this is random, but I was just wondering if OP was doing okay. I really need to talk to him." I rolled my eyes. "She's really trying every angle, huh?" James laughed. "Dude, she's desperate. She's even asking mutual friends about you. Seems like she didn't take no for an answer." I shrugged. Not my problem. And I meant it. But Mia wasn't done. A week after our conversation, I was heading home from work when my phone started buzzing. An unknown number. I almost let it go to voicemail, but something told me to answer. I picked up. "Hello?" There was silence on the other end for a second. Then a voice I hadn't heard in years. "Hey man, Jake." I laughed and hung up. Not even a minute later, he texted me. "Jake, look, I know I'm the last person you want to hear from, but please just give me 5 minutes." I stared at the screen, debating. Every rational part of me said to ignore him, block his number, and move on. But curiosity won out. "Me, fine, 5 minutes." A few seconds later, my phone rang again. I answered, but didn't say anything. Jake let out a slow breath. "I know I don't deserve a damn thing from you, but I just need to say this." I waited. "I screwed up," he said, voice tight. "I know that probably doesn't mean much, but I did. I don't know what I thought. That you'd get over it? That it wasn't that bad? I was an idiot." "Yeah," I said. "You were." He sighed. "I should have reached out sooner, but I figured you wouldn't want to hear it, and now—" He trailed off. "Now you're only reaching out because you need something," I finished for him. He didn't deny it. "I'm in trouble, man. Real trouble." "That's unfortunate," I said flatly. There was a pause, then he let out a bitter chuckle. "Yeah, I guess I deserve that." I didn't argue. "Look, I need a loan," he finally admitted. "Nothing crazy, just enough to get me out of this mess. I swear, I'll pay you back." I nearly dropped my phone laughing. "You actually think I'd give you money?" "I wouldn't ask if it wasn't serious," he said quickly. "I have no one else, man." I shook my head. "That's not my fault. I know, but I don't care, Jake." I cut him off. "You made your bed, now lie in it." Silence. Then, quietly, he asked, "So that's it?" "That's it." I hung up and blocked his number, and just like that, the last loose end was tied. Mia and Jake thought they could betray me, build a perfect life together, and never look back. But life had a funny way of proving that karma was real. They had burned every bridge, and now that they were sinking, they had no one left to save them. And me? I was doing better than ever. I moved on, built a life I was proud of, and for the first time in a long time, I felt nothing but peace. And it felt damn good.